2 months old, 15 at 29 months, so they're maximum production. 10 at 4 months, so they're not producing any milk. 5 at 33 months, those are producing maximum. Those 5 are 6 months old, and those 10 are 31 months old. So 5, 10, 30. I've got 30 producing cows making 25,000 litres of milk. When those other 30 reach 12 months old, they're going to add to that. So I'm going to be making 2 trips in the tanker per day, per game day, which is 3 trips. 2 trips per day, 6 trips per month at £35,000 income per trip. So lots and lots and lots of money with Maize Plus from milk. And lots of food needed. I mean, you look at the food capacity we've got going. I got 400,000 litres of food in the trough. Food in the trough is the maximum amount of food you can have in the trough, which can be split between these components. So if I made 100% power food, these other 3 would have to be 0 because there's no room in the trough for any more food. Obviously with a food robot it's feeding them up proportionally, so we're good. But if you are feeding them up with your own food mixer, be careful. Oh, you can see from here, that's 25,000 litres of milk. I have no clue how big this tank is. Because we're not, that's just, we have some milk in there. How much, I don't know. I don't know how many pixels that length of dots are. We got 43,000 litres of straw. So if I sort of measured that length and then went again and went again and went again and said, oh, we might get 10, I might get 500,000 litres of straw in there before it's at capacity. Slurry, I've got 236,000 litres of slurry in here, and it's hardly made a dent on the capacity. So, yeah. As I said, these the Maypole versions of the cow pen, actually all of the animal pens have been specifically modified to take way more than the base game. And so the food capacity in the troughs has to be commensurate with the maximum amount of animals you can have in the shed. And I think the current maximum is 1,000 for everything. This farm, we have a cow farm, or a cow shed and a pig shed. So all I can tell is how many I can have in those. I would have to buy another animal yard which had chickens in it to find out how many well, actually I don't. If we go to construction, animals, chickens. So that's the base game chicken, 360. That's the Maypole chicken, 1,000. And you'll find the same with sheep, 65, 1,000. Pigs, 270, 1,000. Horses, there is no Maypole horse, so 14 is the biggest. And then cows, you've got 80 is the normal. That's cows without a feeder robot. That's cows with a feeder robot, and those are both 1,000. So lots. And I need to take a quick break. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. So, so yeah, one of the other things you want to consider is where are you delivering your milk to? On this map, it's super convenient. We live here. The dairy is that one. So I can run a trip down to the dairy and back in a matter of minutes. If the dairy wasn't available, and because the dairy is a limited capacity sell point, I could eventually get to the point where I can do 2 truckloads to the dairy and then it's full. So I would then have to deliver probably to Maypole exports. That for me is a super long trip and I can't do it with a worker. So that considered, as I get more cows, it's going to take longer for me to take milk for delivery. And I am going to have to stay on top of it. Or I'm going to need a huge delivery tanker. Like an unrealistic one. So, you know, because everything is based on a Giants game month, if you're playing 1 day per month, you have to make your monthly sales in that 1 day. I am kind of thinking about buying the dairy, because then I could distribute, but I'm still limited in the dairy's production capacity. Eventually I am going to exceed the amount of production the dairy can do in one month. At which point I have to take all of the rest of the milk to a dairy I build myself, or the other side of the map, which is going to take longer to deliver it. But buying the dairy is definitely a consideration, because we know we can increase our income. It's going to raise the value of the milk. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to take a look at, because I'm kind of holding on to the money we currently have just in case a harvester comes up on the store sale. So I have the cash on hand to be able to buy it. And if I just bought the dairy, that goes back to the how do you stop yourself from buying, you know, exercising self-control in buying stuff because, hey, shiny new tractor. But yeah, shiny new tractor, and now I can't buy the shiny new harvester that I needed more than the shiny new tractor. So it's really cost-benefit analysis all the way through there. And the same is true here. I could buy the dairy, but if I buy the dairy and a combine harvester comes up tomorrow, I don't have the cash to do it. I could take out a loan, but yeah, that's another thing. I'm not running my loan up to 100%, because if I do that, then if something I absolutely can't do without comes up, yeah, I can't afford it at that point. So always make sure you have money on hand to do the things you absolutely have to do. And if you've got a little bit more than that, then you can buy the dairy. As you say, I could buy the dairy. It's probably not a big deal. We already did the straw to the cows. But yes, when you're setting up your game, consider how far it is to the sell point, because you're going to have to do that frequently as you get more cows or sheep with wool or whatever. But you know, you have to take things further. It is very consider. It's something to consider. The other thing is because I'm playing with Maize Plus, I've taken the farming agency's advice, and I'm playing 3-day seasons. They suggest at a minimum 3 days per season. And the reason is because your cows eat so much and produce so much. If you played one-day seasons, you'd just be run ragged trying to harvest 5 grass fields and transport 300,000 litres of milk to the dairy every day, and it would just be an uphill struggle. So they suggest at least 3 days, but you can go longer, 5, 10, 20, whatever. It just gives you more time, play time to achieve stuff. Because the way I'm playing, as I said, if a cow eats 1,000 litres of food per month, because I'm playing 3-day seasons, they only eat 333 litres per game day. So I've got time to top up the trough. I don't have to top up the trough completely, and they're only producing 1/3 of their monthly milk per game day, so there's always extra to do. If I was playing 1-day seasons, I would have to drive the milk truck down to the dairy every single day, 3 times, with the 15 cows that I have currently producing milk. So it's things to think about. You can reduce your daily, you can reduce the pressure by playing a slower game day, or sorry, a slower month, more days per month. And if you end up with too many days but just enough time, what am I saying? If you end up with too much time but still want to play with the longer days, you can always increase the time lapse. So you can play, I could play 5-day months with a ×6 rate of time. So 10 minutes equals 1 hour. So approximately hour and a half is a game day, and play 5 game days. So over the course of whatever it is, 7.5 hours, I play a month. Let's lift that up, we can drive faster. I think I've got all the grass here, haven't I? Okay, so the baler is a little bit loaded, no big deal. But we are pretty much good there. So, 1 field of bales, and crash into the wall. Oh, saving. Nope, that's stats. 29 bales produced, and they're 3/4 of 10,000 litres. So, what's that? Divide by 4 times 3. 4 7s are 28, 3 7s are 21. 210,000 litres? Yes. Maybe. So I think, 210,000 litres of grass product produced from that one field. I'm going to turn it all into silage. And under base game, I can probably feed somewhere in the region of a heck of a lot of cows base game with that amount of grass product, and that's just 1 cart. So I can do that. I can wrap these, make them silage. Next cut, which is going to be May, June, I can make hay. August, I can make more silage. November, I can make more hay, and then the grass dies because it's winter. So, not too shabby. It's currently 11:26. We have had a worker or me on this field for about 3 hours 15 minutes creating our grass bales. So, you know, base that as you will. It would take us another 3 hours 15 minutes to cut that field there. We don't own that one yet. I'm using that as a contract field. I could probably make more money owning it, but yeah, whatever. I would have to do all the crazy preparation work, like making sure it was ploughed or didn't need to be ploughed, and it had the lime and it had the stuff, and it wasn't badly affecting my environmental score. All the things and all the stuff, but yeah, it's a. So even what, you know, as I said, even when you start doing cows, you know, if you buy the big shed is really expensive, and it takes, what does the big shed take? Animals, cows. If we just buy that one takes 80 cows. That's the smaller shed, takes 45. So if I took the small one, it's $250,000 to buy that shed. And I can have 45 cows in it, but maybe I just start with 20, and I'll buy them a year old, so there are 6 months before they start making new baby cows. They're a cheaper price than 18-month-old cows, which are ready for. I would consider that 44 Ranger. At the moment I really don't, because as I said, I stream once a month, or sorry, once a week, and chat is not incredibly hectic for the most. Sometimes during Christmas and New Year's, chat can get a little bit hectic, but I'll think about it. Okay. Yes. And there's that, you know, during Christmas and New Year's, you do get a lot of people out on Twitch that aren't usually there, almost ever. So pick up new people. I am in the process of setting up a Discord. I really haven't got far with it. My problem is I spend all day programming computers, and the last thing I want to do is, for my free time, program computers. Let me think. If you want to, yes. I mean, if you're someone who sets up Discord, maybe we could come to arrangement for that, because that means there's less things I have to do with it. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I think, you know, bottom line, I would prefer not to be a co-owner of anybody else's Discord. I would prefer to have a Discord available for me and my purposes, just because it makes things easier that way. Oh, that's not where Discord is. I need to fold that up. What's the button? That one. Bear with me a second. Discord is somewhere. Good grief. Which button's Discord? Is Discord closed down for some reason? NVIDIA settings. Click to view battery info. Why is battery info up? Oh. No, that's headphones. For some reason, Discord has become inactive on my PC. Let me get that started. There it is. Weird. For some reason Discord failed. That's always a good thing. And if I add friend, and I can 44 Ranger, whoops, pound, that's a good one, 7653. Send friend request. Okay, sent you a friend request. Let's get back into game. Well, we can now move chat to Discord, which means we're not cluttering up the stream. Okay, we're here. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's put that there. Let's unload that there. And yes, you can communicate with me on Discord. I usually have Discord active. I'm not... While it might say I'm active, I'm not necessarily monitoring it 24/7. My PC is never turned off, so... Just because you don't get immediate response doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It just means I haven't noticed because maybe I'm somewhere else doing something else. But, oh. Go get the other bales. So yeah, 29 bales per trip, and as I said, we're going to end up with 6. We're going to end up with leftover bales from the contract field, and I do as many contract on that field as I can. If it's silage, I sell it, and if it's hay, I'll usually take the extra hay bales and stick them in the robot feeder. That's the other thing with cows, going back to the cow thing. If you are short on hay or silage, do a hay or silage contract. It'll pay you money, there'll be some left over, you can take the some left over back to your farm and feed your animals with it. Okay, we'll check that shortly. Oh, that's, yeah. Problem. I'm using 2 PCs at the moment. I'm using my work PC to watch Twitch chat, and everything else I've got Farm Sim on full screen, so I can't actually see what's going on behind the scenes. So. There's 44 Ranger, and yes, there you go. Stuff. We'll tab a few times, get back to where I need to be. Okay, so that's that immediate issue taken care of. So yes, Mrs. Osa has just gone out to pick the kids up. So they will be back at around midday. So I'm going to be wrapping up here shortly. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that button. And then I need to go and get me food and stuff. what I might do is a... Ooh, crikey. Well, that didn't end up too well, did it? Might grab those 4 bales and stick them in the wrapper just to be going on with super strength, because why not? But yeah, well, as I said, I'll wrap the majority of these off screen. That sprayer needs to go back to the arable yard, and we'll unload the fertilizer into the fertilizer tanks. I can now buy, I think, mineral feed. That's a little bit more expensive than you buy it at the store. But yes, this tank will hold seeds and mineral feed, but only one. So because I've usually had seeds in that tank, I can't bring mineral feed that way. However, since we are now